Hello everybody and welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, bringing you some more Heart of the Swarm action for you to enjoy on your weekend. Lovely Friday night here in Australia, weather's warm and good time to be inside relaxing and catching up on a bit of casting action. So in the bottom left hand corner, without any further ado, we have MVP from Team Incredible Miracle. In the bottom right hand corner we have Grubby from, of course, Team Grubby. Now I think most people on our channel are familiar with Grubby. We've cast a number of games of his in the past. A fantastic Protoss player, very interesting, very polite. I think anyone who's familiar with Grubby and seen any interviews or watched his stream would have that impression of him. Very polite to all his opponents and always very exciting and fun to watch. MVP hasn't been cast on the channel before, but I have seen quite a lot of his games. He's very well known in the community. Excellent Terran player. Has had incredible success. I think he's won or placed in, I don't know if it's the most premier tournaments, but it is close to it. He has a phenomenal amount of high-level premier tournament finishes, and I think in WCS Season 1 he netted $20,000 in the European region, so excellent Terran player in his own right. Looks like MVP's opening gas first, and following up with his gas and barracks, so we'll likely see a Reaper opening out of MVP. And looks like Grubby's scouted the right way, which is always a nice little pickup, so he'll know that MVP is in fact in this location. We'll see how these players choose to exploit the map, with them spawning on opposite sides like this. There's a lot of interesting factors that can come into play, whether players decide to expand towards their opponent, which is highly unlikely given the volatility of the matchup. Grubby being a bit cheeky with his probe here, trying to harass MVP a little bit. Or whether we see our Terran player decide to utilise some clever drop play, utilising these large edges here. It's easy to threaten a third base, then nick into the main for a big doom drop. You can see Grubby placing a pylon over here, whether that's to hide some tech or whether it's just to help spot any potential drops, we'll see later on. Unfortunately for MVP, he has scouted the wrong way, but given when the probe showed up in his base, it's highly likely that he now knows that Grubby is in the opposing corner. And yeah, we can, oh no, maybe not. Still heading for the top right. Okay. MVP's thrown down a command center at his natural. Looking to play this out, expanding first, probably towards a longer macro style game. Grubby likewise throwing down his expansion, and Mothership Core is going to help keep that nice and safe. So Grubby moving out with a quick zealot. Probably looking to try and exploit the fact that MVP went very greedy, dropped his reactor before any units, and the Mothership Core, and if there was a Stalker to follow this up, could actually put quite a bit of pressure on this expansion here. The Zealot will be able to hopefully snipe this SCV if he's lucky, and he does pick that up. That's going to be a nice little pickup for Grubby. Going to delay the building of that command center considerably. Another SCV will have to be transferred down to complete that. I'm sorry, I missed these two Reapers that MVP built. Obviously built those before dropping the reactor. So see a Stalker now on the way. Warp Gate research almost finishing up in the Twilight Council. We have a sentry here to force field the ramp, but how effective that'll be with Reapers on the map, we're yet to see. Both players having a few units out, but choosing not to be overly aggressive at this point. So turning into a nice little macro game as these players get underway. Looks like MVP's wanting to put on a bit of pressure. These 5 Marines and 2 Reapers are going to pose quite a threat here. The sentry's going to have to fall back. The Mothership Core, unfortunately, is going to be picked. Oh, will it be picked off? It's so close. He's going to drop the photon overcharge, which will force these Marines away. You'll notice how Grubby baited them until they were in as close as possible. If you drop that photon overcharge too prematurely, you find it shoots one unit and they fall back, and then when the overcharge wears out 60 seconds later and you don't have enough energy to do it again, they can push straight back up the ramp and put you in a world of hurt. So Grubby taking care to bait them right in so he could kill a couple of extra units, and we now see MVP being quite aggressive. He's produced 4 Hellions to pair up with these Reapers and Marines, and likely to make another play at this expansion. I don't know that he can put it under a great deal of pressure. A force field on the ramp will force MVP to stay down in here, but unfortunately we'll likely lose both these sentries. Hellions won't be able to do that much damage to the Stalker. It will eventually go down, but not before a good deal of these Hellions and Reapers die. The Immortal here going to be doing massive damage to these Hellions, and this will all get cleaned up. So if we take a quick look at the units lost tab, we can see that Grubby is in fact in the lead by about 300, and MVP not quite getting the edge he'd like in these engagements. So if we go back to the production tab, see quite a lot on the way for MVP. Him hurriedly throwing down his engineering bay. A couple more three barracks total, with one factory and one starport. Will round out his production quite nicely. Looks like he is kitting up to go quite heavy bio play. So we'll see if he drops a reactor on this starport or swaps it out with one of the and indeed using the factory to build that reactor. Now I imagine we'll see 2 medevacs and he'll start putting a good deal of pressure on the front of the base. Indeed, 2 medevacs on the way. We have Grubby gearing up at the front door for a little bit of pressure. It could be an interesting... I have this SCV streaking towards the main, trying to get a good scout off. He's not going to see a whole lot that he isn't aware of already. Oh, Grubby going for this Immortal Sentry time. He is going to take out that bunker, and this is going to put MVP under quite a bit of pressure. Got a good deal of buy here, so Stim is a big threat to this Protoss force. MVP being forced to throw up another bunker. I don't know that Grubby wants to engage here. If he's not careful, he could lose both these Immortals and these Sentries and then be quite behind. Grubby throwing down his support base so that he can begin building Colossus. Ooh, nice warp in the main base. He kill many workers with that. They've killed a couple of workers each. It is 6 to 8. Another battle going down at the front as these forces pick away at each other. Grubby continuing to warp in Zealots in the main base. It's going to make it very difficult for MVP to decide exactly where to defend. Does he continue to sacrifice SCVs and bio units at the back, or does he let go of his front ramp? As soon as these Immortals flood in, they could do substantial damage. So it's always a tricky decision. The Robotics Bay almost finish up now. And the Twilight Council also almost done. So we have Grubby deciding that he'll pull back, and MVP trying to get some indication of where this army's gone to. Looks like MVP will be able to take out this pylon, which will stop Grubby from being able to reinforce, and that will probably signal Grubby's retreat back towards his base, unless he's pulled the Warp Prism up. No, it looks like the Warp Prism may... No, it's still in play. Going for another Zealot drop in the main. A few Marauders stimming to try and deal with this, but 4 Zealots will do quite a bit of damage here. These continued drops starting to accumulate more and more damage. 14 workers have gone down. But it looks like we have a base trade going on here. Grubby strolling right in the front door of MVP's base, force fielding the ramp, and all these SCVs are going to go down. That's not stopping MVP. Big stim into the main base. Oh, quick, we have a mass recall from Grubby. Back in time to defend his own natural, and that was an excellent play from Grubby, managing to take out all those workers. We have 22 workers have been killed by Grubby, and that puts him in a substantial lead. MVP unable to snipe that Nexus before Grubby could recall, and it's a hallmark of some excellent Protoss timing, being able to use those new units from Heart of the Swarm, like the Mothership Core, to put on that aggression, and then be able to mass recall to save your own base before it's taken out. Excellent play from Grubby there. It really shows some of the dynamic elements that have been added to the game in Heart of the Swarm. So, oh, we have a drop moving out here, but spotted by that hallucinated Phoenix. Will Grubby be able to get anything in the base? And it looks like the Colossus and Stalkers will be able to fend this off. Unfortunately, MVP unable to catch a break. He'll really want to move this drop in as he pressures the front door here, but Grubby, looks like Grubby has enough forces to split evenly and potentially hold both these attacks off. So we'll see what MVP decides to do. Another Colossus on the way. So we have 2 Colossus on the field. Unfortunately for MVP, oh no, he does have 4 Vikings and another 2 on the way. So he's starting to get the Viking count he needs to be able to take down these Colossus. They probably would want 2 more before he's feeling comfortable. Supplies are even between these 2 players, but MVP unfortunately running into a little bit of a supply block. 3 medevacs being loaded up. Can he get these in and unloaded? Oh, there's a big force of zealots here. Oh, feedback. Oh, narrowly misses out on killing those medevacs. Unfortunately, not quite enough energy on them, but now very low health. Is quite dangerous for MVP. Oh, stimming a few units to have a look, but realise the size of the Protoss army waiting for him. He is currently outgunned, 154 supply to 134. These consistent supply blocks causing him no end of trouble, mainly due to the fact that he was down that mining base earlier. So that expansion that Grubby's able to snipe caused MVP no short amount of trouble. Big engagement here, Colossus racking in so many kills. One of the Colossus going down, the second Colossus getting 5 kills, 6 kills before it too will get sniped by the Vikings. Grubby's managing to do excellent damage with these Archons. The splash damage continuing to rake in kills, 10, 11 kills on this Archon. Stalker's continuing to chase this down. It's looking very grim for MVP here, and MVP is indeed forced to tap out there. Good game being called, the 16 minutes and 40 second mark. So excellent demonstration of some Protoss vs Terran play out of both these players. MVP unfortunately unable to cut a break, just that excellent timing from Grubby as it moved out. You'll notice that Grubby, instead of choosing to fall back towards his base, you can see that he planned it, because back when they did that base exchange, Grubby pulled up towards the north so that MVP could actually slip past. He intentionally let MVP pass. His observer had been following the army, and once he saw it move out, he swung in, killed all the workers at the expansion, forced MVP to lift off, and before his Nexus could take any substantial amount of damage, mass recalled in to save the day. So excellent move out of Grubby. Great win for him here, and hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be casting some more games this weekend. Looking to upload, cast as many as we can, upload through the coming week. If you have any games you would like to see us cast, by all means send them to aussiestarcraftreplays at gmail.com. We'd love to cast those for you. We have a number of replays that we're planning to cast, but any you would like to cast, we're happy to take care of. So just go ahead and send them through. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give us the old thumbs up, and share us on Facebook or Twitter or Reddit or whatever social media sites you enjoy using. We appreciate all your support. Had some great support and a lot of great comments and feedback from our community. We appreciate all of those, and looking forward to catching you in the next cast. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you later.